Hey, friends and colleagues. My name is Yaroslav Burchenko, and I'll be your instructor for this course on the basics of finance. I have some experience in the financial markets, and I would love to share that experience with you. Now, I'm a trader and a financial analyst. I've been working in this market for over 5 years, and I have experience at different brokerage houses, and some of it has to deal with hedge funds all over Europe. Some of it is very client-based and OTC, which means over the counter. Um, I have experience in portfolio management with Freedom Finance, and I've worked with many aspiring traders and investors for them to find and to improve their edge in the market. Now, my credentials are I'm a certified financial specialist on the Russian stock market. I hold my FSFR 1 and 5, as well as the basic course, and I'm currently working on getting my CFA. Now, what you will learn during this course include the general terms and basic financial assets. Also, what are binary options? What are options altogether? And how they differ from digital options. Also, we'll have a look at the Olymp trade platform. We'll talk about, well, what is Forex? What is currency? And then we'll dig deeper into the different forms of forecasting, fundamental analysis, technical analysis, sentimental, and so on. Also, we'll talk about the psychology of trading, which is a very important topic, and money management, how you can increase your lifetime indefinitely on the stock market or the other financial markets. Also, we'll be talking about and describing different trading strategies, ways of working with the markets, and extracting profits. Let's start with the general terms so that we speak the same language. What are financial assets? Basically, they are uh, securities. That's a word for describing financial assets. Securities are fungible, negotiable financial instruments. Now, that might be a new word right there, fungible. What does that mean? Basically, fungible means that it is one unit that can be divided into other little ones, and when put back together, it still holds the same monetary value. Now, financial assets are instruments for speculation and investment. Now, those are two different approaches to the financial markets. The different asset classes that are popular and currently available right now around the world are, first of all, currency pairs. We all use currency, but some of you may not know that in order to trade this financial instrument, they have to be combined together into one asset class, and that is a currency pair. Some examples are the euro dollar, the pound dollar, the Swiss franc with the Japanese yen. So these are all examples of currency pairs. Now, stocks, I'm sure you guys have all heard about stocks before, things like Apple, Facebook, Tesla. These are all stocks on the stock market, publicly traded companies. Now, those letters that are abbreviated right there, that is called a ticker. Now, with time, as you have more experience working in this market, you will learn to recognize and remember the tickers. So don't worry about it. The next asset class are indexes. Now, what is an index, you may ask? An index is a mathematical way of grouping certain asset classes together in one so that you, as an investor or trader or analyst, have a way of predicting how a group of assets will function or how they will behave. Now, some examples of index classes are the S&P 500. That is basically the top 500 blue chip companies of the US stock market. Now, there you go. There's another new term you learned today, blue chip. Now, what is a blue chip stock? That comes from a term used in gambling in Nevada when the stock market was first burgeoning and growing. They coined that term. Basically, it depicts a top of the line, reliable, and very liquid company that is supposed to be a good and more reliable investment than non-blue chip companies. Our next index is the RTSI. Basically, that's the Russian Trade System Index, and that is Russia's blue chip companies. And the last one that we have as an example is MSCI. That is the index for emerging markets. Our next asset class are commodities. Now, we all use commodities in our everyday life, but did you know that you can trade them and make money on the way they fluctuate? We have things like coffee, sugar, gold, and oil. These are all traded in contracts that that are traded on the market. Our next asset class is cryptocurrency, things like Bitcoin and Ethereum, I'm sure you all heard of. But did you know that you can actually trade Bitcoin contracts in the US commodities market? That's right. So they have become a very valuable asset class with tons of people making tons of money and whole industries growing around this digital currency, this digital asset. Next, we have derivatives. Now, derivatives are a little bit more complex. Basically, they're an asset class over an asset class. They're a synthetic asset class that is used in order to predict or to hedge the growth or fall of other asset classes. And in here we have futures, options, forwards, and CFD contracts. Now, these assets are all bought and sold in standardized contracts on exchanges and financial markets all over the world. Now, price is moved or influenced by the interest of investors like you and I. Price changes rapidly, and there's a term used for this on the markets. It is called volatility. Lots of traders make trades every day, and the more traders that trade, the higher the volume. That's what volume means. Now, to assume future behavior, we look at history. This is one of the principles of Dow. He is also the creator of the index, the Dow Jones Industrial Average. He basically said that history always repeats itself, and many traders have found this to be true, so that's why technical analysis was born through this idea. Now, the term bull is used to describe growth in the market. Anytime a stock grows, we call it a bullish market. And anytime a stock falls, it is called a bearish market. Now, you can remember this by remembering that a bull has horns, whereas a bear is very big and he, with his weight, lowers the opponent or the stock. To buy or sell an asset is called opening a position, placing an order, or making a bet. Now, when you make a trade on olymptrade.com and obtain a binary option or a digital option, you are not actually buying the underlying asset. So don't worry, you won't get a barrel of oil on your front doorstep, nor will you be receiving dividends from Apple. But that's okay because there are other pluses in using the terminal. So that's it for today's lesson. Next time, we're going to dig deeper into what are binary options and digital options, and we'll see how they differ from classic options, which you will also learn. Thank you so much for your time, and have a great time trading.